name is Betty Maney, and the name of my business is Betty Maney Gallery. And when we were little, we went with Mom out on the hillside to chop down a white oak tree, and we would help her bring it home and watch her work it down. We never bothered her, though, as children because we knew better. We knew to leave her alone when she was weaving. And being around it all the time, it came natural to me as if I'd been doing it all my life. So I didn't have to have anybody teach me. I knew the basics. So it was up to me to hone my skills. The best part about being an entrepreneur is that I can produce my work and I can sell it. I can set my own time. I don't put on any pressure on myself to work, because once I do that, I might as well walk off because I can't work. It's like I'm trying to force myself to work. As an artist, I work when I'm inspired. Sometimes when I'm not producing my work when I should be. I guess that's the disadvantage of working when I'm inspired to work and when I feel like working on a piece. So that's the disadvantage, is when I'm not inspired to work on anything. I call it, kind of my dead zone, so I'm not being creative. I think there's a lot of potential for huge business opportunity, especially for the artist, because that's what we're about. We're an artist community, and Cherokee is so rich. It's cultural artists, and with every generation there's always more and more artists, so much talent out there, and I believe that we could really grow as an artist community.
Some of the business I went into was a restaurant, which was known as El Camino Restaurant. I had Poppy's Pedal Garden Center, Hobby Horse Bead and Craft Supply, and El Camino Indian Gallery, which I had a garden shop. I supplied some of the tribal places with garden supplies. I also had a hobby supply, which I sold Native American Indian crafts such as pottery and stuff. I also sold beadwork, bead supplies to make beadwork with. You think that there's a lot of benefits, but there's a lot of nightmares and a lot of hard things, because it's not just an 8-hour day job, it's a 24-hour day job. You have to be prepared for anything. Days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You're pretty much tied down. You can plan a trip, and just as soon as you plan a trip, something comes up, you can't go because one of your employees can't come to work, or somebody's sick, or something's happened to the business. You got to stay and take care of it.
Now, when you do that, you got to get your education too. You got to learn. You got to be able to do balance sheets, profit and loss statements, and most importantly, cash flows. Because business is very, very tough. You have to have the income coming in to fund your expense, so your payroll, your cost of goods, whatever it is, and hopefully have a little above the line when you get through for a profit. Very early Cherokee economy and the business here, it was kind of poor. Most people made their living by logging, timber. A few had government jobs with the Bureau of Indian Affairs. We finally got a few little industries here, textile industries, and the Cherokees came in and making the crafts they sold. Now those businesses are all closed, and the economy's changed and moved on. The industry in the future will be high tech, be tourism, travel. It'll be along those lines. Well, whatever your imagination and where you find a need for a service or a supply of some goods or a manufacture of some goods and sales of them, I always, in my business, I like to develop income from the land. That's why I built a trout farm. That was a natural resource that you could take advantage of, produce something that's useful, and make an income from it.
The name of my business is Cherokee by Design. My name is Charlotte Crow. The best part about being an entrepreneur is the fact that you have more control over what you do and you set your hours. You have to be very disciplined because it's easy. Even now, I've been in business for almost 5 years, and it's easy for me to say, I think I'll just stay home today. That's the downside and upside. You know, you set your own hours, you set your own pay, it's all depending on you. If you want to work hard, then you'll be successful. If you want to be lazy, it shows. So, you know, you just kind of have to be self-disciplined is the main thing. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. It sounds like fun, and you know, it is at times, but it's a lot of hard work if you want to be successful. It doesn't just come right to you and fall in your lap. And if you don't fill your orders, if you don't fill your obligations, then your business suffers.
My name's Daniel Tramper. The name of my business is Deer Clan Productions. It's a Native American entertainment business. What makes my business unique is I started out dancing when I was a young age, and we've always danced here in Cherokee. I've been dancing probably now, I want to say at least 46 years now, off and on. Mid-60s, early 70s when I started dancing. And growing up, I've always danced. We've always traveled all over the United States. And as I got older, I seen opportunity to travel. And I powwow a lot, I compete a lot. I win a lot of championships. I have a lot of people calling me and saying, hey, do you know so-and-so from Connecticut, or do you know some of the Seminoles down there? How do I get a hold of them? So what I thought was, okay, I should create a business basically like a booking agency. Owning a business, yes, you got your perks, but you also got your downfalls. If something goes wrong, it's all on you. You know, you get the perks of, like I said, traveling, but also you get the perks if something goes wrong, everything comes to you. You're responsible for everything. The taxes, the paperwork, the performers. If a performer didn't show up, you're going to have to replace that performer because you've already had a contract with another organization, and regardless, sort of say the show must go on. If it keeps going the way it's going today, we should have a real strong economy here in another 20 years because it's change. Change is bound to happen regardless if we would like it. We need to hold on to our traditions, but we also need to move up and we need to evolve along with as the world evolves.
The name of my business is Nativology. What makes my business unique is the fact that I have the ability to prototype products, that I focus specifically on the Southeastern Native design, and that I enjoy what I do, so I get to work with lots of different people when they're trying to design their own projects. The worst part about what I do is the fact that I have to focus on product versus creativity, and I enjoy the creative part. So for me, that's a challenge, is focusing my time, focusing the design, focusing on specific tasks at hand. The best part of being an entrepreneur is the opportunity to provide products and services for people who genuinely appreciate what I do and what I design. I think that they have an amazing ability to create and to design, and to me that says that they would be great at information architecture, analysis, pretty much anything that a Cherokee person sets their mind to, they can do if they choose to. I think that Cherokee people are resilient.
Many, many years ago, and there wasn't not much economy here. We worked as teenagers. If we could get a job making $2 a day, we were really fortunate. And your parents weren't much better off. So it has evolved. Tourism has been the lifeblood of Cherokee, and it's a lot different today. The TP restaurant, I operated it for close to 40 years, and I give it all the credit because I really had a terrific business up there, and by having the TP restaurant, we were able to do the Holiday Inn, the Best Western Motel, the Indian Hills Motel, Baymont Inn, the little shopping strip mall up at Sanook Village, the hardware store at Sanook Village. We did all of those and probably some more that I can't think of. And we just did them one at a time, and we just saw the need, and we went for it. It's different because there's just more people. I guess it really. I don't want to toot my own horn, but we've helped make a big difference here. We've built businesses that the town needed, and that was my goal when I started. I would look around and see what was really needed here, and I would work to try to make that happen. And I feel like that with my brother and me together, we've made it happen. Well, of course, tourism is the lifeblood, and I would like to see tourism keep to grow and expand, and just make more opportunities for the. And I'd like to see the local young people step up and take over. And it has to be their ideas, because people my age, we've pretty much run our course, and things are changing, and I don't know how they're changing, but they will change according to the way you young folks decide to change them. I think the best part is working for yourself, being able to. It's hard work. You have to apply yourself every day. But if you enjoy doing that, and I did when I was younger, that's the best part. The worst part is still goes back to getting people that on your side, getting your employees on your side, getting them to thinking like you do, and wanting to do the job as well as you do.
My name's Jim Cooper, and I'm 85 years old. And I was born right here, pretty much in this holler, where you're sitting. At that time, there were probably about 1,200 Holiday Inns throughout the country. It had started about 1954, and you had to buy a franchise, and that gave you the right of a territory. The nearest one was in Asheville, and so naturally those people had you had to get their permission to build another hotel. And the other one was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but that was in a different state. So I went to Memphis, and I explained that we were on a Cherokee Indian reservation. We were at the entrance to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. At that time, there were about 8 million people a year coming through the park. And I thought that the Native American culture was a big draw, and they bought it. They said, yeah, we'll give you a franchise. And so we started with that, and we were able to borrow $800,000 from the Asheville Federal Savings and Loan by putting up our property as collateral with the blessings of the tribe, that if we fail to live up to our financial responsibilities, then the tribe would have the right to take over whatever we had built together with our land. And if they didn't want it, then they had to come forth with a deed and give the deed to Asheville Federal Savings and Loan. So we had a 20-year loan. I think our payments were $6,900 a month, and it sounded like more than most of us could make in a year. And we were able to build the Holiday Inn, furnish it, and open it, and still had a little bit of money left out of the original $800,000. After that time, with exterior corridors and without elevators, we could no longer operate as a Holiday Inn. And so at that point, we changed over to the Chestnut Tree and that business. Absolutely. Of course, now, by the time a person is born and say they should go to college, they should get a college education, but by that time, they've got a nest egg of $100,000, $150,000 in dividends from the casino, and so there's not, the possibilities are unlimited for them. My start was 20 cents a day when I was about 12 years old, so there wasn't any dividends along the way, and there was never one penny of tribal money put into this operation. There's bad parts. You come to the end of the year and you know how much hard you've worked, and you know how much you've paid out in wages and salaries. Well, first and foremost, I'm a very strong advocate of our culture. I'm what you call a UNEG, a white Indian, but I love my culture, and I cherish the fact that I am Cherokee, and I cherish the fact that we have such a great history.
Looking back on my experience, I think the best advice that I could give you, or that I would like to give you, is make sure that's what you want to do. Make sure you know all the details that are involved as far as starting a business and what kind of dedication it's going to take. If you've got perseverance and dedication and you're determined to make it work, then you're good to go. If you're resourceful, go out and do your research and ask questions. Attention to detail, learning to go back. If you make a mistake, don't just leave it. Go back and examine it, look at it, pick it apart, and see how you can correct it. So if you have those kind of skills, and if you pursue a business, you're going to pay attention to detail. And if you make a mistake, then you're going to go back and say, okay, what did I do wrong? Let me go back and look at this and see how I can make it right. Because if you just leave mistakes, that just says, okay, I'm not going to be successful. That just tells people if you overlook mistakes, then you're not going to be successful. But if you can go back and fix your mistakes or re-examine them, then it helps you be a little more successful in what you do.
As you go into a business, it's good if you do the way I did. Have an income that supports your family from something else while you're developing that business.
Anyone looking to start a business, the Cherokee people are very gifted and very smart people, artistically and intellectually. And I just think that if they want to start a business, the opportunities are there and the help is there.
Best advice I could give you is follow your dreams, because being an entrepreneur, it is hard, but it's got its perks, and if you don't try, then I was always a person that didn't want to be, what if I did, but I didn't. So don't get out there, try it, do your best at it. You'll learn along the way, like I did.
Know what your dream is and have small measurable steps prepared, plan a good plan prepared so that you can achieve it one step at a time, because you have to keep the momentum, you have to keep enthusiasm. It's not easy.
find out what your passion is, and when you do find out, go for it. And it's not easy. You'll a lot of roadblocks, but if you just stay after it, you'll get it done.